Call meeting to order and ask for a roll call.
Junior. Here. Cirilli.
Here.
Hilliard.
Here.
Leach.
Here.
Mennel.
Here.
Parrot.
Here.
We have a quorum.
If you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There's no public hearing, presentations, public comment we're going to hold here for a couple of minutes. So consent agenda is the approval of the minutes. Regular meeting, May 19, 2025, and the approval of the bills.
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Junior.
Yes.
Cirilli.
Yes.
Hilliard.
Yes.
Leach.
Yes.
Mennel.
Yes.
Parrot.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Tonight, I have the appointment of Andrew Hershine to the Business District Commission for a term expiring 4/30/28.
Move to approve. Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Cirilli.
Yes.
Hilliard.
Yes.
Leach.
Yes.
Mennel.
Yes.
Parrot.
Yes.
Junior.
Yes.
Motion passes.
And we'd like to publicly thank Dane Zeller for his efforts and years on the board. And so Andrew will replace Dane Zeller on that board. So thanks to Dane Zeller for his cooperation and efforts. And then the other item is Saturday, the police had a packed cruiser, I believe is what they call that, at Kroger, and they packed the food in the car for the children at school that didn't have, maybe the chief can explain better what that was.
Yeah, so we were contacted by Kroger Corporate, and they asked if we wanted to participate. It was something that they did nationwide on Saturday, May 31st, called Pack the Cruiser. It's especially important this time of the year to make sure that the food banks are stocked because of a lot of children experience food insecurity during the summer. They don't have, guaranteed lunch or snack, and so that was something that Kroger was promoting, and we'd actually done something like that in November on our own. We were able to raise $568 for the Midwest Food Bank, and then 2 pallets full of food that I delivered this morning. So they're very appreciative, and I know Kroger was very appreciative of our cooperation and help. So.
And some of our fine police officers helped pack it and were there, and it was a nice event. So our officers are out in the public. Village administrator, or village clerk,
Nothing tonight, huh?
village administrator.
I have one item tonight, Your Honor. I would like to ask for approval for a building improvement grant recommended by the Business District Commission. This is for Getz Holding LLC. They do business as Hub and Spoke across the street from the Village Hall. They own a building at 110 West Madison and are looking to do an installation, take out part of the wall and install a garage door on the exterior and 2 handicap accessible ramps into the building. Total project cost $16,350, which would give them a grant of $8,175.
We could have a motion.
Motion to approve. Second.
Any questions, comments? I believe they bought the building next door, so they own 2 buildings there now, directly across from City Hall, and they're renovating this second building now. Call the roll.
Hilliard.
Yes.
Leach.
Yes.
Mennel.
Yes.
Parrot.
Yes.
Junior.
Yes.
Cirilli.
Yes.
Motion passes.
That's all.
That's it?
Chief of Police.
One item tonight, Your Honor. Seeking approval for the purchase of 3 Ford Interceptor squad cars from Morrow Brother Ford at the 2025 state bid price.
Second.
I noticed that in 5 years, those cars have gone up $10,485. So that's about an average of $2,100 a year.
Yeah, so we actually just got 3 squad cars in that we had ordered last July. So they're taking about 10 months to arrive. And so we thought we would try to get the purchase order in for this as quick as we could. And speaking with Morrow Brothers, they anticipate, based on some of the current tariffs that have been proposed, that those squad cars could actually increase $3,000 to $4,000 this year. They do have purchasing for 2025 still at the $44,940, which is actually below what we budgeted this year. And they are in the manufacturing step, I guess, where we can still get them keyed, the same as all our other squad cars, still have color selection, things like that. And that's why we wanted to move on this as quick as we could.
All right, any other comments? Call the roll.
Leach.
Yes.
Mennel.
Yes.
Parrot.
Yes.
Blunier.
Yes.
Sorelli.
Yes.
Hilliard.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Director in Fire Emergencies,
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
you don't want to talk about your fires today?
No, we had a busy day today. No actual fires, thankfully, but a lot of calls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had to put one of our evergreens out downtown. I think somebody flicked a match or something, caught the mulch on fire and burnt one of our blue spruces downtown. So, okay. Director of Public Work has one item, and I'll ask the village administrator to read that.
We'd like to ask for acceptance of base bid in the amount of $368,000, alternative bid number 1 in the amount of $87,000, and alternative bid number 2 in the amount of $93,000, for a total of $548,000 for the building renovation project at 701 Flint Avenue on behalf of Crane Equipment and Service Incorporated, and award a contract for same to Core Construction Services of Illinois. Project to be funded first utilizing Illinois DCEO CDGB Economic Grant Program Leasehold Improvement Funds in the amount of $473,249, and then utilizing CES funds for the remaining balance.
If we could have a motion for that, please.
Move to approve. Second.
Now, we'll try to explain a little bit of what that all is. And we have Sally Hanley here with us tonight. And so the three of us, our village administrator and me and Sally, have been meeting. I have never signed my signature so many times because the taxing body had to support this. It doesn't cost us board members, the city, any money, but somebody had to, taxing body had to get behind this. Sally has been directing this through this for months, and I'll let her explain that grant program and how it works and to get into it.
You did pretty good there. So yeah, as the mayor alluded to, this is a grant fund that comes through the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity from a federal source of HUD. So there has to be a conduit, if you will, and the Village of Morton is being that facilitator for the receipt of the funds that will be utilized by Cranes and Equipment to, it's kind of a two-phase project. They're going to be doing the renovation that was just read off, and Core Construction is a low responsible bidder on that part of the work. CES is also going to be acquiring some equipment. They make cranes, heavy cranes for industrial and Corps of Engineer. So there's some equipment. It's kind of like an erector set, I kind of akin to. So they're going to be purchasing that and installing that. So that'll be about $99,000 out of the grant, and then the balance of the $600,000 grant will go for monitoring, activity delivery, which our organization is responsible for. So they're going to be creating 24 new jobs, and they are, by the way, maintaining their operation in Eureka. They're going to continue to do the smaller crane equipment there, and then this facility, the Marion Manufacturing, allows for a lot more square footage and allow them to do the larger industrial and Corps of Engineer cranes. So it is an expansion, and these are 24 new jobs. I know that they have been out seeking new hires, and they have been successful in hiring. So with that, I don't know if there's any other questions.
They make very large cranes.
Right.
And they have millions, several millions sold to South America. And it's a family-run business.
It is.
And so they have a
Siemens.
problem. One reason they came to Morton is we have one stoplight and the expressway. So I think we're gonna find, once we have Flint Street done and everything, we have something nobody else has got. We're 200 miles from Des Moines, Indianapolis, Chicago, St. Louis. Once you leave your facility, you probably make one right or left turn, and hit the stoplight once and you're on the road. And that's what they're looking for. They happen to have a good facility here, so if they add on, they get some grant money, they have to provide some new jobs, so it's a win-win for Morton, and it really didn't cost us a thing, but they did fill an empty building.
Quickly.
And a Morton contractor got some of the work, so.
Yeah.
I think it's a good night for Morton.
Yeah, very good. Appreciate your support for sure, and we'll be monitoring the progress and keeping you up to date. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And she does a very good job of that. She doesn't miss nothing. Okay. Village trustees, does anyone have
Yep.
anything here tonight?
You have to
Oh,
vote.
I'm sorry. Let's call the roll.
Mennel,
Yes.
Parrot,
Yes.
Blunier,
Yes.
Cirilli,
Yes.
Hilliard,
Yes.
Leach.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Well, I'll ask again, does the village trustees have anything tonight? If not, if we could have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.